Today my lesson is elasticity. This is a very important concept in economics analysis. In simple words, the elasticity is the degrees of responses in the discussion on the demand. We say that the demand for a particular good responds to change in its own price, change in other price, change in consumer income, and change consumer taste. The elasticity of demand implies the degree to which demand responds to change in those factors. Elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand. The elasticity of demand is discussed under three different categories. First one, price elasticity of price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand. Second one, income elasticity of demand. Third one, cross elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand. First one, the price elasticity of demand. This is the degree of responsiveness of demand for a particular good in a change in its own price. In other words, it is the particular change in quantity relative to a percentage change in price. This can be expressed as follows: elasticity of demand equal delta Q percentage divide delta P percentage. O, elasticity of demand, delta Q divide Q divide delta P divide P. It's equal ED delta Q divide Q multiply delta P P divide delta P. Finally, delta Q divide delta P multiply P divide Q. Delta Q divide delta P multiply P divide Q. It's the same formula. It is, we can take a curve, demand curve like this. P and Q demand curve. P1, Q1, P2, Q2, this is a delta P. This is delta Q. Delta P, delta Q. P1 is the original price. P2, the price after change. Q1, the original quantity. Q2, the quantity change. Delta P equal change in price. Delta Q change in quantity. Uh, E is price elasticity of demand. Okay. We can obtain the value for price elasticity of demand by substituting values for price and quantity in the above formula. Since price and quantity are negative related, we do not consider the negative sign of the price elasticity of demand. Now we can substitute different values for price and demand for the demand schedule to the formula and different values for the price elasticity. The numerical value of price elasticity can vary from 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. Uh, Regarding to those values, we have few different elasticity of demand. First one, perfectly elastic demand, perfectly elastic demand. Second one, perfectly inelastic demand. Third one, unitary elasticity demand. Fourth one, elasticity demand. Uh, Finally, inelastic demand. The perfectly elasticity demand, here the price elasticity of demand is equal to infinity. The quantity of this type of a good can change without any change in price. The demand curve related with such a good is parallel to horizontal axis like this. Q and P demand curve parallel to the horizontal axis. Second one, the perpetually inelastic demand, here the price elasticity of demand is equal to 0. The quantity of this type of a good does not change, even the price does. The demand curve related with such a good is parallel to the vertical axis. Vertical axis parallel like this. Demand curve. Third one, unitary elastic demand. Unitary elastic demand. The price elastic is equal to 1 or the percentage change in the quantity as a response to a change in price is equal to the percentage change in price. The quantity has 1 to the response to change in price. The demand curve related to unitary inelastic demand is a rectangle important. So we can draw it demand curve like this. Okay. Fourth one, elastic demand. The value of price elasticity of demand is between 1 and infinity. The percentage change in quantity is greater than the percentage change in price. In other words, the quantity is more responsive to change in the price. The demand curve related to such a good has a less slope. Less slope. Finally, inelastic demand. The price elastic of demand is between 1 and 0. 1 and 0. The percentage change in quantity is smaller than the degree percentage change in price, so the quantity is less responsive to change in price. The demand curve related to such a good has a more slope. It is steeper. One linear demand curve or curve with a straight line. All these 5 categories of price elastic can be seen inside the formula for price elasticity. Since our demand curve is stretched, the which is also the slope of the demand curve is equal at very combinations of price and quantity. Therefore, only the level of price and quantity P and Q in the P and Q in the elasticity formula change in different combinations. When we price is equal to 0 elasticity becomes 0, and when quantity is equal to 0, the elasticity becomes infinity. Between these 2 points, elasticity can be any other value. So now today my lesson is over. Goodbye.